Dearborn Heights, Michigan, September 21st, 2016. He was up for parole with the help of family, friends, and a pastor. They all spoke highly on his behalf to try to help Gregory Green become a free man. Pastor Harris in Detroit wrote the Michigan Parole Board in August of 2004. He said, quote, "Gregory and I were friends before this mishap. He was a member of our church. I feel he has paid for his unfortunate lack of self-control and damage he has caused as much as possible, and he is sorry," unquote. The pastor would write again a year later, "This was his friend. He believed in him. He was very persistent." Denial in 2004. Twice denial in 2006. Here's another quote from Pastor Harris. "If he was to be released, he would be welcomed as a part of our church community, and whatever we could do to help him adjust, we would," unquote. Green was released in 2008. He would get a job at the Metro Airport, Detroit. He would later marry the pastor's daughter, Faith Harris. She became Faith Harris Green. She previously had 2 children before her marriage to Green, so Green was an instant stepfather. He looked as if he was a reformed family man. They also had 2 daughters together, Coy 5 and Kayla 4. On September 16, 2016, Faith Harris Green, she would find herself bound with duct tape in the basement of their home. Her wrists had flex ties around them. She'd been shot in the foot by her husband. Her husband had been torturing her. Her face had been slashed with a box cutter. She was forced to watch as her husband would shoot her daughter Carrie, 17, and Chudney, 19, in their heads. He poisoned his own children with carbon monoxide. He placed them in a car while they slept as he put duct tape on the muffler and a plastic bottle to it. He would later move their deceased bodies inside the home. Faith had to witness all 4 of her kids, young children, Kara, Chudney, Coy, Kaylee, all dead. Why? In court, he was very apologetic, but never gave a motive behind the killings of these children. In prison previously for 16, he was what they said, a model citizen, always held his head down, never was in any trouble. Green had never been found mentally incompetent for his trial. He pled guilty right off the start to his charges. He even cried when describing what he had done to all 4 of these kids. His now ex-wife, Faith Green, would say, quote, "You're a con artist. You're a monster. You're a devil in disguise. You are now forever exposed. I will not suffer as you intended. What you did did not work, unquote. She would tell this to her ex-monster of a husband who had his back to her in his prison-issued jumpsuit in a full courtroom. She missed her kids dearly. She wished she would have died that night with them. She could sometimes feel the flex ties around her wrists. She has post-traumatic stress. She has bad migraines. She has dreams. She's saving them. But the dreams would turn into real nightmares when she wakes up and she realizes they're gone. She'd scream out in agony, but they are really gone. Nightmares are real. Her monster of a husband said that he prayed for the children, and he also said, quote, "I feel bad how this deeply impacted everyone. May God help them. Help me. Help us all," unquote. That's what he said. Preparing to get his sentence, he said, quote, "It's in God's hands. Only God can judge me," unquote. Well, the judge gave him 47 to 102 years in prison. She also said this was by far the worst crime she had seen as a judge. He's 50 when this sentence was being held to him, so he will never, ever get out and be able to do this again. He will be 92 before he is able to even come up for parole. What? Did you ask what he was in prison for the first time? In 1991, Gregory Green would stab his wife, Tanya Clayton Green, in her face and chest until she died in the kitchen on the floor, and she was carrying his baby at the time. He calmly called the police and waited to be arrested. When they arrived, he said, quote, "I stabbed her. She's in the kitchen," unquote. And that was it. Tanya Clayton Green's life was over. He was supposed to do 25 years. I think it was 15 to 25 years, but he would only do 16, and he was a free man. A friend of Tanya Clayton said that she knew that Clayton was going to leave him, and he probably knew it too. She said she spoke with her friend, and her friend told her she was going to go to church, and after church she was going to go home and pack her stuff and start the procedure to end her marriage to Green. But that would be the last time that she would speak to her friend. His second wife, Faith Harris, she had told a friend that her marriage was in trouble. She also had filed for a divorce in 2013. She said that things was rocky, is what she just told her friend, but her friend said that Faith Harris, she was a very private person. She didn't have any physical signs of abuse on her body, but she did go to Wayne County Circuit Clerk to try to apply for a protection order. She had told the court that he was belligerent and kicking things and threatening her. She even told the court that her husband had said, quote, "If you don't leave, things could get ugly," unquote. The application was denied.